Today we're going to restore this Portuguese railway company lamp. It was made in France and it was made in 1972, August 1972. It was made for the Portuguese railway company, CP, that you can see on the side. This means Comboios de Portugal. It would have been rechargeable battery, you can see the points there for recharging. And we assume it's a signalling or marshalling kind of lamp. It was located in Lisbon, we can see by this label. This is the maker mark. That's the Portuguese Railway Company, and they're the charging points. Many thanks for joining, and my name's Stuart. We're going to start the disassembly of this now. Actually removing this, it's hinged on the top, and this gave me some problems, as you'll see in a minute. I'm guessing that they would have still been using steam trains in Portugal in 1972. They still existed in England up until the late 60s. This is a locating pin which holds the hinge bolt in, but it's so totally seized, so the only way I can do it is to grind through with some diamond quills. It's a little bit of a long job, but there was no other way to do it. Now I've managed to drill through the pin, and now I need to just punch out this locating. It's just a locating rod. Now we got that off. I'm not under any illusions. This probably, the charging battery inside is going to be finished. Nothing to repair there. You can see that when we open this up, this lamp has been opened up and repaired many times over many years. There's a plate in there with all welding on it. The base of this lamp is very heavily corroded, and there's not really, I don't think there's any point in making it look like new again. I think that's part of the history of the lamp. You can see the battery pack in there. Just to remove the switch. Yeah, a bit of a mess inside. You can see again Lisbon and a number 27. The maker mark, the maker label, was we're going to remove it in a tick, and it was partly obscured, worn out. So I decided to we'll make a new one, and I used artificial intelligence to find how the label would have looked and the address and the maker's name, because that's partly obscured as well. So there's all the parts, basically all disassembled, the lenses, the body, the battery pack. That battery I'm not going to be able to recover in any way. You can see it's been painted a few times inside that plate. So this is made from the base there that you can see is Bakelite. This is a material that was used in the 70s. And someone's welded some nuts onto that plate, which we're going to have to remove and start again. This is the contact plate, where those 2 points. The switch was made in France, which authenticates where it was made. Just to desolder these wires. Not much to do with this, just to clean it up. This is the base plate, which is in very poor condition. And this is the contact plate. This would have been just put onto a charging station. And you can see a little bit later that see, those are the pins. That's those pins locate in the charging station. But the insulating, the insulator, which is another type of Bakelite material, is very, very damaged and worn out. So the only thing I can do is to fill it. The idea is that I fill it and then I'll be able to remove those pins so I can paint it afterwards. So this was my plan, to fill it and then just to use an abrasive paper to take it back flat again. There you are, nice and flat. Now the point is just if I can get these, but yeah, look, take a pin out. The 2 pins, but it's very, very corroded, and where it's been smashed down onto a charging port, it's actually broken the casting. You'll see in a little while. So what I'm doing is just shot blasting this paint off. It doesn't come off very easily. It's like a rubberized paint. So it repels the steel shot. There you go. You can see the cracking. That's been caused by smashing the lamp down onto a charging port probably thousands of times. So again, I'm just filling it using a filler, and then I'll use a little Dremel tool to take it off and clean it up. So they just basically, they're going to be waiting now for painting. This was the plate that's been mucked around with over the years and repaired a few times. Please like and subscribe, and any comments that anybody has are always most welcome. I'm just removing these nuts with an abrasive belt. Now I've got the nuts off, I need to just shot blast it. I just speed it up. There's no point watching shot blasting. It's like watching paint dry. Now we're going to take this body, we're going to do some cleaning up on it with the rest of the aluminium castings. The paint needs to come off, and the part where I ground it all down needed to be filled up, and a new hole drilled for a grub screw. So that just needs to be tapped, M4. And now just to grind down that filler that I used to fill in the hole. Now we're going to shot blast these parts. You can see I've speeded it up quite a lot. You know, these parts, there's no point polishing them or doing anything like that. That's not how it left the factory. They're just castings. And this part was painted white, so I'll take that back to white again. This is the closest blue I could find to the original colour. So now those parts are completed. I think they look nice. What we're doing here is I'm putting the nuts back onto this plate. I'm using silver brazing alloy. You just need to use a flux on there and an oxyacetylene torch. Here's a few parts that I'm nickel plating. I had to make another new screw. There was only 3, you may have noticed at the beginning of the video. So I made one, and I'm just nickel plating them all, and the nut that holds the switch in place. This lens, this red lens, I trying to give it a bit of a polish up. This is the ID tag for the lamp from the railway company, just giving it a clean up. What we're doing here is making a laser marking a new label, which you can see here, which I've done now. This is the insulator piece that we used some filler on. And those are the points, the charging points. This is the contact plate. So what I'm doing is I'm using a battery pack and sticking it on with Velcro. Just something that works, that's all. Now I've just got to resolder some wires back into the switch and try to reassemble all that. The big long screws go back, hold that plate in place inside. Now just to locate the switch again. You may remember I nickel plated that nut. What I'm doing here is soldering the wires together and then use a heat shrink. This is there's a special plastic in it, shrinks into place. Now we basically just need to assemble the bulb holder and screw these parts back together. the bulb holder. And again, I'm using some heat shrink on the parts which have been soldered. That part looks nice. That's a new bar that I made, a new hinge. So that just needs that grub screw to hold that in place. And we've got the railway lamp locator or identification plate, and that's the label that I made. These are just some shots, stills of the before and then after, railway company name. And there we are, finished. I'm very pleased with that. You can see the label we made. And that again, the CP is the Portuguese Railway Company. Now let's see if it works. Now, bingo. Very nice. Just turn it off and on again. I hope you enjoyed the video and many thanks for watching.